Have you ever felt like everything in your life was falling apart? Like you were caught in a storm, searching desperately for something solid to hold on to? Have you ever woken up in the morning, stared at yourself in the mirror and wondered, how much longer can I keep going? If you've ever felt this way, I want you to know, you're not alone. We've all faced those moments, those days when just breathing feels like a battle. According to a survey, 70% of people admit they've experienced a challenging phase in life that left them feeling completely lost. This isn't just a statistic, it's a reality of the human journey. But what truly matters is this. Will you let those challenges sweep you away, or will you stand firm, learn to face them, and grow stronger because of them? More than 2,000 years ago, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus lived through times of chaos. They faced war, plagues, and injustice. Yet, they didn't allow these challenges to extinguish the light within them. Instead, they left us with powerful tools, timeless mantras that can help us not just endure life's storms, but thrive because of them. Today, I want to share with you 3 of these transformative Stoic mantras. Memento mori, remember you will die. Not to frighten you, but to awaken you, to help you cherish every fleeting moment. Amor fati, love your fate. Embrace everything that life throws your way as a gift, both the joys and the challenges. The dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. These aren't abstract ideas. They're practical, life-changing tools that you can start using today. But before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. Let's walk this journey together, step by step, toward a life of resilience and meaning. Now, let me ask you, are you letting the things you cannot control steal your peace? What truly matters in your life that you should focus on today? Let's find the answers together. Let's begin. Mantra 1. Memento mori. Remember you will die. The meaning of memento mori. Memento mori isn't a gloomy reminder to dwell on the inevitability of death. Instead, it is a wake-up call, a tool to strip away the noise of daily distractions and clarify what truly matters in life. It's an invitation to live deliberately, fully aware of life's fragility and fleeting nature. Imagine holding a compass in your hand. Memento mori serves as that compass, pointing you towards the present moment, urging you to focus on what makes your life meaningful. Far from being a cause for despair, it's an empowering mantra that helps you make every decision, every conversation, and every experience count. A creative and inspiring story. Picture a sand timer. As you watch the grains of sand fall, each tiny grain represents a moment that has already passed, time you've already lived. Those grains at the bottom of the timer cannot be retrieved, no matter how much you might wish otherwise. They're gone, lost to the past. But look closer. There are still grains of sand at the top of the timer. These represent your future, the time you still have left. But there's a catch. You don't know how many grains remain. It could be years, months, or just days. Now ask yourself, how will I use the sand still falling? Will you waste it on trivial worries, mindless distractions, or resentments that serve no purpose? Or will you treasure it, treating each grain as a gift to be spent wisely? The ancient Romans understood this deeply. When victorious generals returned from battle, they would ride through the streets in glorious parades. Behind them stood a servant whose sole job was to whisper into their ears, Memento mori. Remember, you are mortal. It wasn't meant to dampen their victory, but to ground them, to remind them that even in triumph, life is fleeting. A practical lesson: what truly matters? In our busy modern lives, we are often consumed by worries that seem enormous in the moment, but lose their weight when seen through the lens of memento mori. Imagine you're stressed about a work deadline. The pressure is mounting, your mind is racing, and frustration is boiling over. In this moment, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, if today were my last day on earth, would this truly matter? Suddenly, the urgency fades. The deadline might still be important, but it no longer holds power over your peace of mind. What emerges instead is a clear view of what truly deserves your energy. Spending time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful goals, or simply finding joy in the small moments of life. Memento mori is not a call to abandon responsibility. It's a call to recalibrate your focus. By remembering that time is finite, you naturally prioritize what adds value to your life and let go of what doesn't. I remember a moment in my own life when memento mori became more than just a concept. It became my guide. A close friend of mine passed away unexpectedly. It was a shock that left me grappling with questions about how I was spending my time. In the weeks that followed, I found myself asking, am I living the way I want to be remembered? The answer was unsettling. I realized how much time I'd been wasting on arguments, distractions, and pursuits that didn't align with my true values. That loss became a catalyst for change. I began to live with greater intention, to say yes to moments that mattered and no to the ones that didn't, to the practical ways to embrace memento mori. Living by the principle of memento mori, remember you will die, isn't about dwelling on death, but celebrating life. This mindset helps us focus on what truly matters, guiding our actions toward purpose and fulfillment. Here are 5 ways to practice memento mori every day. 1. Write down 3 priorities. Each morning, begin your day by asking, what 3 things will make today meaningful? These priorities can be simple, like spending quality time with loved ones, advancing a personal project, or even enjoying a walk outdoors. Write them down and commit to them fully. A clear sense of purpose will guide your actions and help you make the most of your time. 2. Reflect. Each evening. Before bed, take a few moments to reflect. Ask yourself, did I focus on what truly matters today? What could I improve tomorrow? Reflection is not about criticism, but self-awareness. Use this time to celebrate small victories and plan for a more intentional tomorrow. 3. Declutter your life. Identify activities, commitments, or relationships that drain your energy without adding value. Let them go. Life is too short for obligations that don't serve your goals or bring you joy. Start small. Say no to one unnecessary task this week, and notice how it frees you to focus on what matters most. Practice gratitude. Pause each day to appreciate life's small gifts, a warm meal, a kind word, or the beauty of nature. Gratitude anchors you in the present and shifts your perspective to what's positive. Consider keeping a gratitude journal or sharing your appreciation with someone you care about. 5. Use a physical reminder. Carry a memento mori symbol, such as a coin, bracelet, or even a small hourglass. Each time you see or touch it, let it remind you to live intentionally and cherish each moment. By adopting these practices, memento mori becomes a guide, helping you live fully and purposefully. It's not about fearing the end, but using the knowledge of life's impermanence to infuse each day with meaning. What will you do today to make your time truly count? As we close this section, I leave you with this question. If you knew your time was limited, what would you start doing differently today? Would you call a loved one? Would you finally begin the project you've been putting off? Or perhaps you'd simply pause and take a deep breath, savoring the miracle of being alive. Memento mori isn't about fearing death. It's about using its inevitability as fuel to live a life of purpose, connection, and joy. As the sand in your timer continues to fall, remember, you have the power to make every grain count. What will you do with yours? Mantra 2. Amor fati. Love your fate. The meaning of amor fati. Amor fati, or love your fate, is not merely about accepting what happens in life. It's a bold invitation to not just embrace life's joys and challenges, but to cherish them as integral parts of your journey. This philosophy challenges us to view every event, whether good or bad, as a building block of who we are. It's not about resignation or passivity in the face of hardship, but about learning to turn adversity into opportunity and pain into power. Amor fati teaches us that everything happens for a reason, and every struggle is part of a greater picture, one we may not yet fully see. Imagine you're hiking up a mountain trail, breathing in the fresh air, and admiring the beauty around you. Suddenly, a rainstorm hits, making the path slippery and the journey much harder. You have two choices: curse the rain and stop moving forward, or continue walking, recognizing that the rain is as much a part of nature as the sunshine you enjoyed earlier. A friend of mine once shared a moment when amor fati became her guiding light. She lost her job unexpectedly, with the weight of financial responsibilities pressing down on her. At first, she felt as though the world was against her, but instead of letting the pain consume her, she chose to see this loss as an opportunity to start anew. She said, "If I'm going to love my fate, I have to believe that even this loss has meaning." Within a year, she found a new job she was passionate about and began building a life she never thought possible. Amor fati didn't change her circumstances, but it transformed how she faced them. Practical lessons from amor fati. Amor fati isn't just an abstract concept. It's a mindset that empowers you to embrace life's challenges with courage and purpose. Rather than resisting hardship, this philosophy encourages you to transform adversity into growth. Here are 3 practical ways to apply amor fati in your daily life. 1. How can I love this? When faced with difficulties, instead of reacting with frustration or despair, ask yourself, how can I love this? Loving a challenge doesn't mean enjoying the pain. It means seeing it as an opportunity to grow. For example, if you face a missed opportunity at work, view it as a chance to reflect on your goals or learn new skills. Struggles in relationships can teach you about forgiveness, patience, or establishing boundaries. This shift in perspective allows you to face obstacles with resilience and clarity. The next time you're in a frustrating situation, pause and reframe it. Look for a positive angle, such as an opportunity to practice patience or develop a new strength. 2. What can this teach me? Every experience, no matter how painful, carries a lesson. Asking yourself, what can this teach me, shifts your mindset from focusing on the discomfort to uncovering valuable insights. For instance, losing a relationship might teach you the importance of self-love or reveal what you truly need in a partner. A failure at work could strengthen your resilience or highlight areas for growth. Practice. Tip. After a difficult moment, take a few minutes to reflect or journal. What happened? What emotions did I feel? What can I learn from this experience? This practice helps you extract wisdom from challenges and see them as opportunities for personal development. 3. How can I turn this pain into strength? Pain can be a catalyst for transformation. By asking, how can I turn this pain into strength? You shift from being a victim of circumstances to becoming an agent of change. For example, grief can deepen your gratitude for life and loved ones. Financial hardship might inspire better money habits. Self-doubt could push you to develop new skills or seek mentorship. The key is to channel your energy into actionable steps that help you grow. When overwhelmed by pain, focus on one small constructive action you can take. Each step forward builds momentum, helping you transform pain into progress. Amor fati isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about embracing life's full spectrum, using every moment, good or bad, as a tool for growth. By asking yourself, how can I love this? What can this teach me? And how can I turn this pain into strength? You can navigate challenges with grace and resilience. How will you begin embracing amor fati today? Think of a current difficulty you're facing. It might be a strained relationship, disappointment at work, or a personal struggle. Amor fati invites you to view these challenges not as enemies, but as teachers. Let me share a personal example. There was a time when I felt stuck in a cycle with no way out. My efforts seemed futile and self-doubt began to creep in. But instead of succumbing to despair, I applied amor fati. I asked myself, if everything happens for a reason, what is the reason behind this? The answer didn't come immediately. Over time, however, I realized that this period of struggle taught me patience, forced me to reevaluate my goals, and ultimately pushed me onto a path more aligned with who I truly am. How to practice amor fati daily. You can bring amor fati into your everyday life with small, intentional steps. 1. Accept even what you don't understand. Not everything can be explained immediately. Amor fati invites you to trust that even the toughest challenges have a purpose. Try listing past difficulties that eventually brought positive outcomes into your life. 2. Reframe your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this happening for?" The second question shifts you from being a victim to being the creator of your life. 3. Practice gratitude. Each evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for, even if they are small. This practice helps you focus on the positives, even on the hardest days. 4. Repeat the mantra. When faced with difficulty, remind yourself, Amor fati, I love my fate, even when it is challenging. This repetition reinforces the mindset that every struggle is part of your journey. As we close this section, let me leave you with a question. If you could view every challenge in your life as a gift, what would you cherish most from what has happened to you? Amor fati doesn't promise an easy life, but it gives you the strength to live more fully, more deeply. Love your fate, for it is through that love that you will discover the strongest version of yourself. Mantra 3. The dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can control. Well, the meaning of the dichotomy of control life is unpredictable. Plans fail, people disappoint us, and circumstances often spiral out of control. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless when faced with such chaos. But the Stoics offer a profound yet simple solution. Focus only on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. This principle, known as the dichotomy of control, reminds us that our peace of mind doesn't depend on external events, but on how we choose to respond to them. It's a liberating realization, one that shifts our energy away from futile struggles toward meaningful action. Epictetus, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, summarized it perfectly. Some things are within our power while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, office, and, in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. When you internalize this distinction, life becomes less about battling uncontrollable storms and more about steering your own ship with clarity and intention. A story of resilience. Let's imagine a scenario. You've planned a long-awaited outdoor event, a celebration with friends, food, and music under the open sky. The day arrives, and so does a torrential downpour. The event you envisioned is ruined. How would you react? For many, the instinct is to lament, "Why did this happen to me? It's so unfair." But no amount of complaining will change the weather. The rain is outside your control. A friend of mine once faced a similar situation. Instead of succumbing to frustration, she chose to focus on what she could control. She moved the party indoors, created a cozy atmosphere with candles and warm drinks, and turned what could have been a disaster into an unforgettable evening. Her ability to adapt not only salvaged the event, but created a memory her guests still cherish. This is the power of the dichotomy of control. By accepting what's beyond our influence and directing our efforts toward what we can change, we reclaim our sense of agency and peace. Practical applications of the dichotomy of control. The beauty of this Stoic principle lies in its practicality. Here's how you can apply it in different aspects of life. 1. In relationships. People are unpredictable. They may fail to meet your expectations, say hurtful things, or act in ways you don't understand. Instead of trying to control their actions, focus on your own. Communicate honestly and kindly. Set boundaries that protect your peace. Choose how you respond, even when emotions run high. When someone disappoints you, ask yourself, is their behavior within my control? If not, how can I control my reaction? 2. In work and career deadlines, competition and workplace politics can create immense stress. You can't always control your workload or how others perceive your efforts. But you can control your work ethic and the quality of your output. How you manage your time and prioritize tasks. Your attitude toward challenges and setbacks. Imagine presenting a project only to have it dismissed. Instead of dwelling on the rejection, consider, what did I learn from this? How can I improve next time? 3. In health and wellness. While you can't prevent every illness or injury, you can take proactive steps to care for your body and mind. Eat nourishing food and stay active. Practice mindfulness to manage stress. Seek help when you need it. The next time you're frustrated about an unexpected health issue, ask yourself, what's within my power to address this? One of the greatest gifts of the dichotomy of control is the mental clarity it provides. When you stop fighting battles you cannot win, you free up energy to focus on what truly matters. Imagine carrying 2 heavy bags. One is filled with things you can control, like your actions and decisions. The other is stuffed with things you can't control, other people's opinions, the weather, the economy. Now ask yourself, which bag am I willing to carry? By letting go of the second bag, you lighten your load and walk through life with greater ease. Mantra 1. Memento mori. Remember you will die. The meaning of memento mori. Memento mori isn't a gloomy reminder to dwell on the inevitability of death. Instead, it is a wake-up call, a tool to strip away the noise of daily distractions and clarify what truly matters in life. It's an invitation to live deliberately, fully aware of life's fragility and fleeting nature. Imagine holding a compass in your hand. Memento mori serves as that compass, pointing you towards the present moment, urging you to focus on what makes your life meaningful. Far from being a cause for despair, it's an empowering mantra that helps you make every decision, every conversation, and every experience count. A creative and inspiring story. Picture a sand timer. As you watch the grains of sand fall, each tiny grain represents a moment that has already passed, time you've already lived. Those grains at the bottom of the timer cannot be retrieved, no matter how much you might wish otherwise. They're gone, lost to the past. But look closer. There are still grains of sand at the top of the timer. These represent your future, the time you still have left. But there's a catch. You don't know how many grains remain. It could be years, months, or just days. Now ask yourself, how will I use the sand still falling? Will you waste it on trivial worries, mindless distractions, or resentments that serve no purpose? Or will you treasure it, treating each grain as a gift to be spent wisely? The ancient Romans understood this deeply. When victorious generals returned from battle, they would ride through the streets in glorious parades. Behind them stood a servant, whose sole job was to whisper into their ears, "Memento mori." Remember, you are mortal. It wasn't meant to dampen their victory, but to ground them, to remind them that even in triumph, life is fleeting. A practical lesson: what truly matters? In our busy modern lives, we are often consumed by worries that seem enormous in the moment, but lose their weight when seen through the lens of memento mori. Imagine you're stressed about a work deadline. The pressure is mounting, your mind is racing, and frustration is boiling over. In this moment, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, if today were my last day on earth, would this truly matter? Suddenly, the urgency fades. The deadline might still be important, but it no longer holds power over your peace of mind. What emerges instead is a clear view of what truly deserves your energy. Spending time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful goals, or simply finding joy in the small moments of life. Memento mori is not a call to abandon responsibility. It's a call to recalibrate your focus. By remembering that time is finite, you naturally prioritize what adds value to your life and let go of what doesn't. I remember a moment in my own life when memento mori became more than just a concept. It became my guide. A close friend of mine passed away unexpectedly. It was a shock that left me grappling with questions about how I was spending my time. In the weeks that followed, I found myself asking, am I living the way I want to be remembered? The answer was unsettling. I realized how much time I'd been wasting on arguments, distractions, and pursuits that didn't align with my true values. That loss became a catalyst for change. I began to live with greater intention, to say yes to moments that mattered and no to the ones that didn't, to the Amor Fati is more than just a philosophy. It's a way of life that invites us to embrace everything that comes our way, joys and sorrows, victories and defeats, with an open heart. It teaches us to view challenges not as setbacks, but as opportunities for growth, resilience, and transformation. When you choose to love your fate, you stop resisting life's natural flow. Instead of wasting energy fighting the inevitable, you redirect that energy into creating meaning and purpose. Difficulties become stepping stones, and even pain becomes a teacher, guiding you toward a stronger, wiser version of yourself. As you move forward, remember the power of 3 simple questions. How can I love this? Reframe adversity as a necessary part of your journey. What can this teach me? Seek lessons in every experience, no matter how hard it seems. How can I turn this pain into strength? Channel your struggles into growth and transformation. Life isn't always easy, and challenges will come. But by practicing amor fati, you develop the ability to find peace and purpose, even in the face of adversity. Each day becomes an opportunity to live fully, to appreciate what you have, and to grow into the person you're meant to be. Now ask yourself, what part of your life can you begin to embrace today? How can you start loving your fate, even when it feels difficult? The choice is yours. Will you resist life's challenges, or will you rise above them, transforming every moment into a part of your story? With amor fati, you already have the answer.